Oh
my God!
We're back.
We are so back.
And we don't know what we're calling this segment yet, Lucy, but we're doing yet another little college football review / preview for this week.
Should we have people submit name options? Because all of ours are terrible.
Yeah, well, they're
I
not.
don't trust theirs.
They're not ours or Mike Ryan's.
Yeah, they're real bad.
They're really bad. I'm not even going to repeat them.
No, we're not saying it.
Most of them involved like wordplay of the word feet.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Taylor is joining us as always.
Woo.
I do have to correct the record. Last week I said that Taylor went to North Carolina. He wants it to be known he did not just go to North Carolina. He played football at North Carolina. We're very proud of you, Taylor.
Look at me,
So the record has been corrected. And Lucy, we're going to do like a little top 5 list this week like we did last week. Funniest things from week 0. We're going to talk about what we learned from week 0. And then we're going to preview the upcoming week, which you have already told me about 15 times that you are very excited for.
Week 1 is always the best. Week 1 and then week 12, 13, whatever we want to call it, where there's no NFL. So we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night. All college football.
All college football. And
all college football.
We're looking forward to that. I liked your setup that I saw. I saw you had the quad box going on YouTube TV.
I brought out the second TV, so I have 5 screens. I didn't even bring out the iPad. But we're going to get that started this week. iPad's back this week.
So I was only able to watch the Notre Dame Navy game, and not even really, because it was impossible to see what was going on, because I was standing between, like, the field was between me and, like, 99 6'4" men. So I couldn't really tell what the hell was happening, other than, like, there were a lot of touchdowns, and I was very excited about that. So what did you learn from the other non-Notre Dame games that happened in this past weekend?
USC... They haven't fixed it. They have not fixed it. Tackling's still optional there. They could not stop San Jose State. I mean, their offense is so amazing. Caleb Williams had one of the craziest, like, drop snap to 76-yard touchdown I've ever seen, which, like, he's going to win you so many games. But that defense is still really bad, which obviously, like, no shit, Alex Grinch is still your defensive coordinator. Like, duh.
So USC still has a bad defense, but still has a good offense.
Yeah.
Any other takeaways? I mean, I know you have been defending the slate of games, but
it was good.
Okay.
UMass is back.
I heard Hawaii and Vanderbilt was
awesome.
a good time.
Hawaii really turned things around. They lost to Vanderbilt by 53 last year.
Oof.
They were in this one. They still lost, but Vanderbilt is also back. Vanderbilt beat Florida last year. Really not that hard to do, but Vanderbilt's winning games.
They did beat Florida last year.
It's
People
like,
forget that.
It's a real, like, it was nice to see some of, like, the little guys get better. Like, to see UMass score points, that was a beautiful experience. Something I never thought I'd see.
I never thought I'd hear someone say it either. And I didn't get to watch many games last week, Lucy, but I do know that Notre Dame, they have a quarterback.
They do.
And if you hate Notre Dame fans now, wait until you see a few more games with Sam Hartman playing at this level. The vibes are insane right now for some Notre Dame fans. Some of us are very like, well, they should beat Navy by 39 points.
You?
So, no, actually, that's not me. I'm kind of like I'm the kind of fan that's like, you know what? You can only win the games you play, and right now they've only played one, and they did a really good job, so I'm happy. And if they lose to another crappy team this year, I'll be sad after that happens. But I'm not going to get pre-sad about it. And I think when fans do that, like, what are you watching the games for, guys? Like, we won. We went to Ireland. We won. Let's all have fun. Let's enjoy it. Let's bask in the afterglow of beating Navy in Ireland, as we should.
One quarter into watching that game, I just had to sit and really think to myself, shit, they're going to put Notre Dame in the playoff. They're going to put Notre Dame in the playoff.
Let's
One
not get
quarter
ahead of
in,
ourselves.
I know they're going to do it.
They've got a very difficult schedule.
We have to stop it.
No, we don't. We can all jump on the hype train. Everyone's welcome to join the hype train. You, me.
My God.
Chris Rousseau, daughter went to Notre Dame. Should we get into funniest things from week 0, Lucy?
Heck yeah.
We've got hella OLI, so why don't you start with an OLI for us?
All right, our first OLI of the funniest thing from week 0. Vanderbilt students tried to spell Vanderbilt, which, great school, by the way, and then said spelled, is this right as I'm reading it? The V, I want to make sure it's right because it's so ridiculous.
It looks like someone sat on a keyboard.
It's like an Elon Musk child name. VXYOERBIT.
It looks like a CAPTCHA. It's like putting these letters, they're all wavy to prove you're not a robot. So was this like, how are they trying to spell these? With like a sign?
Yeah, I'm confused as to where did X come from? where is it? Whoa.
I like when supposedly smart people do very stupid things, and I'm putting smart in air quotes because when I was at Notre Dame, we did something very stupid like this. They tried to give us like these big colored panel flag things to make the Irish flag in the stands, like in the student section one year, and it did not work. And I think if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll put a picture in. But like one of the rectangles was right, and then the other ones were like sideways and folded up, and it was terrible. It was supposed to be like this cool thing where it's like, oh look, the Irish flag in the stands, and instead it was like, look at these dumb, drunk, idiot students who do not know how to follow basic instructions. So shout out to Vanderbilt, been there. I was under the white one though, so my section did its job.
I've never understood like the painting like the letters on your body for fans, because somebody's gonna have to go to the bathroom at one point, and that's when the camera's gonna get you.
Oh, and you're gonna spell something like totally inappropriate.
And there's gonna be an X in there.
VXY0ERBI. That looks like a European license plate. Actually, is what that looks like. All right, Lucy, what's our next OLI?
Our OLI is Sam Hartman had a necklace made from his own rib. Nasty.
How is that only an OLI? That is the craziest. Like, how do you ask the doctor for your rib after it gets removed? I would be too scared to ask for that.
I think his mom did it. His mom,
hey, can I have the rib?
Was like, I need that rib. It's arts and crafts time. I'm gonna make something for Sam. Which I don't know if it makes it better or worse.
I don't know either. It's very strange, but I kind of like it. Maybe it's my bias showing. Maybe if he was still on Wake Forest, I'd be like, that's weird. But he plays for Notre Dame now, so he can do no wrong.
I respect it, honestly.
Next OLI.
My computer keeps locking. Ohio has a lineman, Parker Titsworth, number 69.
Wow, nice.
That is what college football is about. People say this sport isn't going to succeed. Look at that.
We still make 69 jokes about a guy named Titsworth.
Baby.
He had any other number.
Yeah. He's probably doing a thing there.
It's perfect.
And it's working. We're talking about Ohio.
That was kind of a gross game, but like a good gross game. Ohio, San Diego State. Ooh, nasty.
That sounds disgusting.
It was real gross.
Was it as gross as the Hawaii game in which, number 5, there was a 0-yard punt?
It didn't get blocked. Like, I don't think it got blocked.
So he just punted it and went straight.
It just didn't go where he wanted it to go. It ended up going out of bounds and hit right like at the line of scrimmage, and it was 0 yards.
I love that.
Kirk Ferentz saw that and threw up everywhere.
I love bad special teams. It's one of the things that makes college football so unique. There are some I saw 2 missed field goals in Dublin this past weekend, and there are so many more to come. What's number 4, Lucy?
Number 4, San Diego State avoided an intentional grounding by throwing the ball directly into the ref's face. Right there.
I saw this one. This one was solid. It looked like it was intentional. It probably was not, question mark. But there were a couple times I was watching this Women's World Cup this past summer, and I saw a ref just be so in the way that they had to like blow the whistle so they could restart because they were just so completely in the way. And this guy is just so in the way. Like, he could not be more in the way of where this play is going. And it is remarkable. I hope he didn't break his nose. It looked painful.
I've seen a lot of Iowa quarterbacks look just like that. Just like that.
Number 3.
Number 3, Vanderbilt had their scoreboard held up by cranes. Their stadium is not done, and they had a week 0 game, and they straight up were like, we're going to kill somebody with this. They just brought out cranes and like a legit scoreboard, just held it up. Also, it was like terrible weather.
Yeah, and the scoreboard says inclement weather, which is what you want to see from a giant, heavy scoreboard dangling in midair by cranes. I guess the season snuck up on them there in Vanderbilt. They don't know how to spell their own team name. The stadium's not ready yet. I truly would not want to be anywhere near that. It seems like one of those like Final Destination type ways to die, where it's like so many things go wrong, but we all kind of saw it coming at the same time. Yeah, that's a pass for me.
That's an SEC school. Holding up their video board with cranes.
Sure is.
All right, number 2. FIU's quarterback had 4 passing yards on 14 attempts. Ooh. 5 completions, 4 passing yards, and they almost won.
You know what? I don't think this is funny. I think this is where we need to stake our preference for our favorite Florida football team, for me, that's FIU. It's the Panthers. Yeah. They're the ones that play in Miami. They're the ones that are they have the Miami Vice uniforms this year. I am excited to watch FIU, more so than all the other Florida teams. Jeremy, wherever you are, shut up. Mike Ryan, you know how I feel about your team already. Florida, like, that's not even, I don't even know. That's so far away from here, it could be in another state. Doesn't count.
They also beat Miami, so that's FIU.
Yeah.
And Billy Gill on the call.
Love it.
Wild.
What's number one?
At number one, the funniest moment from week 0, and this was tough. Obviously, great list. New Mexico State's quarterback threw a pass with his helmet completely backwards. It was this wild, like, face mask moment where it just got... It was on the complete other side of his head. I don't know, what's that, a 90-degree angle?
It was a 180. It was a full 180. It looked like he was, like, wearing a like, Cousin It kind of Halloween costume because it was just hair in his face mask. But shout out to him, really taking the Patrick Mahomes no-look pass to heart on that play. It was pretty funny. It was a good list, Lucy.
They lost to our darling UMass.
Oh, tragic. Well, I appreciate the update from last weekend's games from you. But looking ahead, what are we the most excited for now?
Oh my God, there's so much to be excited for. Thursday night, you're headlined with Florida, Utah. You got Nebraska, Minnesota as well, which I'm very, very excited for. You even got like a good Friday night slate, like a little Big Ten action in there. Saturday is, we're so back.
It's jam-packed.
UNC,
it's
South
jam-packed.
Carolina.
Yes.
You have LSU, Florida State on Sunday. There's literally so much. It's an amazing week 1.
And you and I we have our eyes on something that you haven't mentioned yet, Clemson and Duke. Keep an eye on Duke. Keep an eye on Duke, folks. We mentioned it last week. Duke, sneaky good last year. Got a good head coach. They're playing Clemson. Clemson coming off a bummer of a season in which they still made a New Year's Six bowl game, but that doesn't matter. Keep an eye on Clemson Duke, everyone.
Dabo's already complaining.
Thank you to everybody in the audience rushing in with the correct correction of Stugotz from a couple of hours ago when he said that the Montana-Marino debate is not over and that Montana is not allowed to select Marino. Marino had a couple of Hall of Fame wide receivers, Stugotz said, in Mark Duper and Mark Clayton, neither of whom are in the Hall of Fame because they get no credit for having played with Dan Marino.
But to Stu's credit, I can't think of a single receiver that played with Joe Montana.
Yeah, that one guy who was still great in his 40s somehow. This is a story from Connecticut, and it made me think of Tony because Tony rivals Stugotz in having really questionable judgment, especially around things that might be criminal. I mean, are we boring you?
Sorry. I hadn't realized the segment started. God, I'm turning into Greg. I really am turning into Greg Cody. Holy how long has it been? 90 seconds. It's 90 seconds of show that we've been doing. I had no clue.
What were you doing?
I was on Twitter.
Doing what?
Just reading the mentions. I'm turning into Greg Cody, I'm telling you, man. I was reading the press clippings. They really like the musical sueys, huh? Damn.
Anything interesting on there?
No, that's the worst part. Just scrolling away.
Mike, what do you think of Amin's performance today? I think he's talking too much in too many places. He used to be so respectful. Like, he used to come in here and be very careful about when he talked, when he didn't talk. Now there's just an inefficiency of words. He doesn't know when the clock is about to end a segment. He's talking too much at the wrong times. Like, what's happening here?
I value Amin immensely. He does a lot, network-wide. And I think for the first time today, it's washed over me that he's probably doing too much. Because I think, to his credit, he's a natural on this cast. He just plugs into the ensemble, and he's great. And so he doesn't feel like he has to be that particularly sharp anymore. We're familiar with this affliction. It's happened to your regular co-host. So I think that's what happened to Amin today. He just took this for granted, thought he can just stroll in and be awesome, and it hasn't worked out.
I mean, take my rings, put them in a box, Take LeBatard's rings and put them in a box. See what your box plus minus is.
Dan has
see,
more
even
rings.
that was not even on point.
Dan has way more rings than you.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Yeah.
He's married.
You're on the Dan Le Batard Show.
I have never in the history of doing this show been allowed to not pay attention while it's going on.
That's crazy. I did the whole crossword today.
Well, but you are the worst. You are the absolute worst of anyone here of being in your phone when we're talking about stuff. I just am never expecting the person directly next to me not to be listening to a single word I'm saying.
I swear to God, I didn't know. I didn't know the segment started. I said, Amin, are we boring you? I felt like I was in class again. I was like, oh, the lecture started. Oh, my fault.
That's crazy, Dan. Also, women be shopping.
Women be shopping.
As I was saying,
Oh! Dan, you know what that song means.
I don't know what this song means. What it means is that we don't have a music library that costs a lot of money and don't have any modern music or music chosen from, I don't know, the last 70 years.
It's time for the brand new game that is sweeping the nation. Made up team or real team I've bet on in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, my God. He's gambling again.
I am gambling again. So we begin with a team called Lehman FC.
Lehman?
Did I bet on a team called Lehman FC in the last 2 weeks, or did I make them up?
Lehman is the name of Jessica's boyfriend.
It's really not.
Lehman?
He's not your boyfriend?
I mean, I do call him Lehman now, so maybe it is his name.
Dan?
I am going to guess that is a real team, but I'm guessing.
No, I'm going thumbs down. It's a real team?
It's a real team in China, Lehman FC.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was your strategy?
That's
and
Lehman.
What
Yeah.
Not Lehman.
Amin El Hassan.
Come on, man.
Go sit in the penalty box.
See,
again.
you did that to yourself.
I mean, how can I? What am I supposed to do? Like, look at. We've been 5 minutes into the segment. Do you know how hard it is to be that incompetent in 5 minutes?
The segment started.
He wasn't listening to the first 90 seconds.
He's trying to catch up? I don't know.
That was his best. That was the best he was in this segment.
That was wise. That was what he considered wise. Let me play on this particular electrical line.
Yeah. Dan, that was impressive. You're 1 for 1 so far. I bet on a Lehman FC game. It was the Asian Champions League qualifier in which they lost. Thankfully, I had the other side.
But what did you know about the team that you were betting
I had
on?
no idea that Lehman FC was a real team. I was just reading stats on recent goal production. Thank you. Shout out to the FOTMob app. I won this bet.
Did you just need action at a certain time of day that you didn't have any
If
other
that time
action?
of day is 5:50 a.m. Eastern, yes. You're not going to, if you see $100 on the floor, you're not going to not pick it up, right?
I'd rather play, unfortunately, Tony's not here, Old Faces, New Places in football is the game I prefer. Juju, I do appreciate you. What kind of music? Dancing to this music.
Question number 2.
What is this music?
Middle fart.
That can't be a real team. That can't be
Did
real.
I bet on a team
That can't be real.
called Middle Fart?
Middle fart bear.
You are saying that it is spelled the way that it sounds, F-A-R-T.
One word, Middle Fart.
But it's fart.
Yes, it
That
ends
is
with
not.
F-A-R-T.
That is not a real team.
You don't think it's a real team?
No.
Go ahead and Google it, folks. I bet on a team called Middle Fart, and I'm not even sure what country they play in. I think maybe Denmark, but both teams' score cashed.
Salute to the farters.
Next one up.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Salute to the farters. Yes or no?
Did I bet on a team called Guillermo Brown?
I mean, if Middle Fart's a team, then Guillermo Brown is a team.
Unders in the second division of Argentinian soccer are a cash cow.
I'm sensing a trend here.
Yeah. Next question.
A gambling problem, too.
Hope
What-
NY.
Did I bet on the West Bromwich Albion under 18 team?
Well, that's probably a real team. I mean,
West Bromwich Albion is a real team that plays in the championship. They've been in the Premier League before. Did I bet on their under 18 team?
How do you spell that?
West is W-E-S-T.
The rest of it.
Brahmachalpian. B-R-O-M-V-I-C-H. Albion.
I'm going to say yes. You did bet on that.
Oh, yes, I did.
On everything.
The academies can't stop anybody from scoring. So if you see two academy teams playing, both teams will score. Yes. Did I bet on a team called The Strongest? The team name is The Strongest.
I wish they played Middlefart, so it'd be the strongest Middlefart.
Oh! Did I bet on a team
Yes.
called The Strongest? Yes, I did. Moneyline and cash.
So you made
Did I
money
bet
all
on a
of
team
these.
called Young Boys?
Dangerous game.
Did I bet on Young Boys?
Is it as dangerous as the one Amin was playing with accents? No?
Did I bet on Young Boys?
Yes, you bet on all of these. Can we be done with this segment and this music?
All right.
Yes, you bet on all of these.
Last one. Did I
Yes.
bet on Old Boys?
Yes, yes. Young boys, old boys,
Yeah.
all yes. you
Old
bet-
Boys are actually
Yes.
Lionel Messi's parent club. That's where he started his career, at Old Boys. Yes, I did. The moral of the story is I bet on everything.
Yeah, I gathered that, and I knew it already before we added that music to it. The story I was trying to get to before you interrupted me, as you guys have done several times
Ooh,
today,
Helsinki just scored. Thank you, Bojan Ralovic.
is that Tony, because he can dabble, it seems like, in criminal behavior, or likes to say out loud that he doesn't mind doing so, says that if he found a suitcase or cocaine, he would keep it. This story is from Connecticut. A Connecticut man says that he felt like he won the lottery when he discovered a bag with nearly $5,000 in cash lying in a parking lot. So he decided to keep it. My question to the audience and to you guys, those of you who aren't in your phones doing crossword puzzles,
No, it's okay. I finished it. I'm onto the Wordle now.
if you found $5,000 in a duffel bag in a parking lot, you do what? All of you.
I'm doing what this guy did. He kept it, and now he's playing dumb. He's like, well, I didn't know. And they're like, what do you mean? It had, like, there were documents in it with the name of the bank. It was in a labeled bag. And he's like, well, I didn't see that. I don't know. I thought I won the lottery.
What would you do?
I'm getting my ass out of there. Either I'm going to be arrested or somebody's going to kill me. So I'm out of here.
Juju, what are you doing?
I've been broke all my life. I'm keeping that bag. I'm running 100 miles an hour down the street in case somebody saw me pick it up.
Because as Jessica mentioned, it said in the bag there was insignias and information that said the cash was from the town's tax department. There were numerous documents inside saying who the rightful owner of.
Classic Robin Hood. I can rationalize that. Tax department? I mean, taxes.
Rationalization.
Yeah. Also, did Middlefart cover or not? That also might apply here.
He's been charged with larceny because that is not something that you can do. I wouldn't have known that. I think that most people listening to this, if they find $5,000 worth of cash, the grand majority of people listening to this are going to be tempted to keep it, even if you have money, right? Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at LeBatard Show. If you found $5,000 worth of cash, would you keep it? Yes or no?
He got charged with starting a fire?
That would be arson.
They would have opened that bag and they would have found a whole bunch of $5,000 worth of IOUs.
Yes, he was charged with arson. It was weird, right? He
Did
wasn't
you think
expecting
larceny
that
was
at
a
all.
word combo?
I don't know.
Put it on the poll as well at LeBatard Show. Do you think that if you found a bag with $5,000 in it, you'd be charged with arson?
All right, I'm leaving.
Not arson, but arsony.
In the
Just a little
strip,
bit.
in the strip club, they're gonna charge me with larceny because I'm making it rain and thunderstorm, and I'm gonna be fired doing it. My bad.
Yeah.
There it goes, his confidence.
Excellent. Start to the segment and finish to the segment. One guy wasn't listening and the other guy shouldn't have been talking. I believe that Amin just shamed a confused Roy, and I don't know why or how this became a discussion point, but Roy doesn't seem to understand why Amin doesn't accept or like that Roy is a person on airplanes who doesn't mind his window, not the window being open, but he doesn't need the shade down on the window, and Amin is making him feel bad about this for some sort of reason?
Heathen.
How?
Heathen. It's clouds. There's nothing out there. I promise you. There's nothing interesting out there. It's just clouds. Close the window. Let people want to sleep. Let people want to watch stuff on their devices. Watch it without the glare of like this bright light coming on their screens, reflecting everywhere. Let people not have their watch glint lasers into my eyes. Pew, 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 pew.
But the cloud looks like an alligator.
No, it doesn't. It just looks like
It
clouds.
looks like an alligator.
It does not.
That cloud looks like Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
It depends on the time of day of the flight. You think it's never acceptable? What about takeoff and landing?
No.
Never?
You're just being wild.
You don't like to see on landing? I love seeing Fort Lauderdale, Miami, what area I'm coming from. I like to see everything, how small it looks. Never? You're an absolutist about this?
Yeah, I mean, just come on. Like, all right, you've done it. You've seen it. Like it's not
Maybe
new.
you've done it and you've seen it, but there's plenty of folks on an airplane who are flying for the first time and seeing these beautiful, majestic views like our South Florida Eiffel Tower, the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, for the first time.
Yeah, you speaking from a place of privilege, brother. I think that's what's wrong with us adults. You feel me? We stop viewing the world through a child's eyes. We start being like, oh, I know how to drive a car. Oh, I got to drive to work. Oh, this is an airplane. Oh, close that window, you heathen. No, brother. Some of us, I haven't flew on a lot of airplanes in my life. I start flying once I start working with you guys. You feel me? So I like seeing, I'm like, dang, this is how the sky looks. Dang. And, of course, somebody sitting next to me always tells me, hey, do you mind? I kind of mind a little bit, but I will I guess whatever the word is, let you have it.
Acquiesce.
You feel me? I will acquiesce to your ass. You feel me? Because look, this is my imagination. I love this. So I feel you, brother. I love you. But some of us doesn't have the red eye flights every 2 seconds. We like this.
I'm telling you, the glare is annoying. It's so annoying. I'd be trying to like tilt my
sleep
screen.
patches by Salute the Sheets and Giggles. They sell these right here. That's 2 F words. I'm so sorry.
Dude,
but they sell these. Get you some of these.
I'm trying to watch. I'm not trying to go to sleep. I could go to sleep anywhere, but like it's the thing that I really don't like is when I'm trying to watch and I got reflections. And then the other thing I don't like is when the watch is shooting lasers into my eyes because the reflection of people's watches off the light from the window coming up into my eyes, man.
How often does that happen?
All the
this
time.
Is such a specific complaint.
All the time. So wait, when you guys get in there, you guys be leaving your windows open and just be like marveling at
yes.
what is it?
Yes,
it's just
I
a
do.
cloud.
It
But
depends.
I like it.
It's just a cloud.
Mine goes down once the electronics can be used. Once we're high enough where they do the thing where it's
10,000
like, all right,
feet.
you can take your stuff out now, then I put it down because I don't need to see anything else. But I like takeoff and landing. I like to look.
I'll meet you in the middle. How about this? Take off and landing. Have at it.
You know what basketball is? Just a bunch of brothers putting a ball through a hole. But you dedicate your life to it, right?
Hold on now.
You feel me?
Hold
Ain't no
on.
hold on. You get what I'm saying? You can make your
gone too far.
You can make your puns or whatever. But I'm saying is it's a lot of stuff on this world that you don't enjoy that you do enjoy. You feel me? And the airplane looking at the window, if somebody like that, why take it from them because you talking about somebody shooting lasers? Ain't nobody shooting no lasers in your eye, bro.
Yeah, they are.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, they are, man. It's
Perspective.
bothering me, man. That's the thing. Like me liking basketball doesn't bother anybody. I don't.
It bothers some folks.
Who?
He shall not be
Point 'em
named.
out.
Juju, I am remiss in doing this. I don't like to do this to you. You are correct when you say that wonder and discovery is something that children and adults should all enjoy. He already left the room because he knows what it is.
Were you kicking him out?
I'm going to do. I'm kicking him out for not just 1 or 2 MFers that put the editors on alert, but also the sheer number of times with his elbows and muscles that he hit his own microphone. Because he did it a number of times, and so he's going to have to leave the room now. I want to show the audience a back and forth that Odell Beckham had with Boyd of the Bengals, Tyler, and it.
Tyler Boyd.
That's what I said. Yes,
Yeah.
Boyd of
Boyd,
the Bengals.
Boyd, comma,
Just an
Tyler.
odd way to say someone's
I
name.
know
Dan.
because I was searching for his first name, so
I
I
got
went
it.
last
No, I know,
name.
I know.
Let me explain to you what happened there because I'm so self-conscious about you, Piranha. Because
Tyler.
I
20
couldn't think of his first name immediately, and I knew you guys would seize on me just saying Boyd.
Yep.
That is what just happened there because I'm constantly on the defensive trying to fight when you guys are going to come and get me.
Was your brain devoid of the name?
Christ almighty,
Go
man.
sit with Juju. Yeah. Go sit with Juju right now.
That was not a good one. What are you talking about?
The worst part was he tried it with me, and I shook my head no.
None of them
And then
are
he
good
threw the
ones.
fastball anyway.
Well, Jeremy has that affliction.
Proud of
doesn't-
him.
He runs through the third base
Shade
coach
him.
every time. Let's show the people the back and forth that Odell Beckham had with Boyd, Tyler. And
The name's Boyd. Tyler Boyd. Shaking that stirrup.
Odell Beckham is saying in the Super Bowl, and this was going to happen. Before he got injured, what he is saying was going to happen, which is I would have caught, not me, but Odell Beckham, 15 balls for 250 yards, and we would have won 42-17 if I had not gotten injured. And Boyd comes back, Tyler, with woulda, coulda, shoulda. And then the response of Odell Beckham, I feel that, but I do have the ring. You coulda, woulda, shoulda had.
You skipped FRFR.
Yeah. Can you
You know what
do
FRFR means?
This is not the part I'm interested
I
in.
feel THT. I feel THT.
No, that part I got. I said I feel that. And then middle fur. Mike Ryan bet on fur, middle fur.
Yeah.
The part that I'm looking at here on this, though, is he's got him until, and that's a fact, Brody. It's the Brody that caught my eye as that's not the word I would have used there. The Brody is what? What am I missing? That's not what I would have gone with. Dismissing Boyd as Brody.
It's like brother, bruv.
I got that much.
Well, I was just in the UK. You didn't know what Brody was? It's also Russell Westbrook.
Why is he going Brody there?
I think there's a sound we actually play for the question like that. Yeah, it's just a term, and I don't.
Kick Juju out at the wrong time. Juju, come back, please.
Juju, come explain Brody.
Can
to-
you please
to Dan.
explain fra-fra?
Takes his time.
Yeah, please take your time.
Look, they told me to put the microphone in front of me as they said it was hard to hear me. That's why I kept bumping into that mother trucker. But everything is different, bruh. I need a break.
Brody?
I don't even know what y'all talking about, bruh. I didn't go to the penalty box. It was occupied. I went outside.
Can we bring up the graphic again?
Why was the penalty box occupied?
This is Jeremy's terrible joke.
I am looking for help on, and that's a fact, Brody. Odell Beckham going at the aforementioned Boyd Tyler.
He doesn't. Dan doesn't understand Brody.
It's bro.
The problem is your question is so stupid,
It's
Dan,
so
that Juju
stupid.
doesn't
Damn.
know how to respond.
He doesn't know how to.
it.
He's like, respectfully,
Yeah.
please don't come to me with how
Don't shoot
stupid
the
this
messenger.
is.
Very good. Let's move on to other subject matter then.
What does FRFR stand for?
I don't know.
Give it a guess.
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know.
What about RN?
Don't know.
Registered nurse.
Bingo.
Are you guys going to tell
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
PA.
FRFR is for real.
So he said,
RN
I
is
feel
right now.
that for real, but I do have the ring you coulda, woulda, shoulda had, and that's a fact, Brody.
Juju, are you okay?
Look, I'm having a rough go of it, brother. Like I'm usually ill or even killed. You feel me? But I'm only doing certain stuff because of the suggestions I'm getting in my ear while you talking. By the way, you feel me? So they told me to move the mic, and they don't realize I'm bigger than I'm a little bit different size than other people here.
You're
feel
built
me? So,
different. You're built different.
you feel me? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're talking about. This graphic. I don't understand nothing happening right now. All I see is you looking at me, and my microphone is on still.